This example says the same thing. 200 students from a summer camp voted for the location of a field trip. But now it says create a relative frequency two-way table for the rows. All right, this is going to be different from the whole table. When it said whole table, we used the total number surveyed. When it says rows, we're going to use each row total for the denominator. So which direction do rows go? Rows go horizontal. All right, so we have a row for boys, we have a row for girls, and we have a row for total. So when you're doing this one, I always like to just block off everything else and do it one row at a time. So I'm going to start with red for the boys. All right, so I'm going to do the boys row in red. All right, how many boys voted for zoo? That would be 50, so that's my numerator. Out of, what's my row total? What's the total of boys in this column? Well, the total of boys, I've got to come up here, is 100. So my denominator for all of these fractions is going to be out of 100 because you're just looking at the boys row. So 50 out of 100, which will be 50%. Park, we have 20 out of 100, so that's my fraction. So that's 20%. Aquarium, I have 30 out of 100, so that's 30%. And my total would be 100 out of 100, which is 100%. All right, I'm going to use purple for the girls. The girls, I'm just looking at the girls row, all right? Just the girl. I'm blocking out the boys row. I'm just looking at the middle one here. So how many girls voted for zoo? And then we have 40 as our first numerator. Out of how many total girls were there? 100. So there's also 100 as the denominator here because it just so happens they surveyed the same number of girls and boys. So that just happened this time. So this is 40%. Girls that voted for the park is 40 out of 100. So that again is 40%. Girls that voted for aquarium is 20 out of 100, which is 20%. And then, of course, 100 out of 100, which is 100%. Now, you may notice, we have 200% this time. Yeah, because each row is going to total to 100%. All right, and we still want to do the total column. So don't forget it down here at the bottom. All right, so total column, we have 90 total that voted for the zoo. That's your numerator. Ooh, that color doesn't like it. Let me pick a different one. Let's try the green. Yeah, that's better. So 90 out of, what's the total for the total column? 200. So I just came to the end. The total for the total was 200. So 90 out of 200. And then you're just going to turn that into a decimal using your calculator. 90 divided by 200, which is 0.45, 45%. Park, 60 out of 200. Divide that in your calculator is 30%. Total voted for aquarium would be 50 out of 200, which is 25%. And total would be 200 out of 200, which is 100%. So let's take a look. You're looking at each row individually. So if you're wanting to see the girls broke down and the boys broke down by percentages, and then the totals broke down by percentages, the rows would be the best, okay? Notice each total for the rows, the boys total, the girls total, and the total, we have 3 100s at the end. All right, one more type left. Let's look at it next.